presentation of the National Football League.
His team fell in their season opener a week ago, now hitting the road, looking for their first win. On the other sideline, it is the Vikings head coach Kevin O'Connell. His guys, on the other hand, were winners in their opener a week ago, so they'll try to make it 2-0 to start the season.
Will Reichard to kick off for the Vikings.
The kicker, Will Reichard, has the ball on the tee. And off we go here on Sunday Night Primetime. Ray McLeod on the return. Across the 20, they'll mark him down before the 25-yard line. That's where the offense will take over. The Falcons come out there led by Michael Penix, the second-year quarterback out of Washington. Greg taking over late last year and winning the job as the Atlanta starting quarterback.
We had a chance to sit down with him this week, Mike. It almost came across to both of us that he wasn't entirely over last week's close loss. And he made the point. He said, listen, playing quarterback in the NFL, you're going to be judged by how well do you play and what is your record in one-score games. Last week, they found themselves on the wrong end of it. They get themselves into a back-and-forth matchup today. They've got to make enough plays down the stretch to come away with the win.
And they'll be set up now. Up past the 40 with that one. 14 yards on that pass play there. It's good for a Falcon first down. They'll run it for the first time with Bijan Robinson. He'll burrow his way forward for a couple. Jonathan Allen, big man from the interior, with the stop.
Brings up second down.
Spotted at the 45. Here's 2nd and 7. From the gun, here is Penix. Left side, he's got McLeod. And they'll hold him to a gain of just a couple and sets up third down.
On the play. And it's third down.
From the gun, on third down, here's Penix. And this ball incomplete on third down.
Remember what they told us, Mike, leading up to this game. They said it is so critical for us to find success, especially on third down. We want to maintain possession, extend these drives. Well, the first crack comes up and they fail through the air, and we're going to have to regroup and be able to have better success throughout the remainder of this game.
And not the greatest of results here. This is going to hit the field of play and continue out of bounds. So, the Vikings come out. Technically, it is year 2 for J.J. McCarthy, but really, it's year 1. Did not play at all in the regular season last year with the knee injury. The former Michigan Wolverine, the quarterback of the Vikings.
Really solid all-around performance last week, Mike. I think the biggest factor that led to the win is his ability to continue to protect the football. He executed the offense, ran it exactly how they designed all week in practice. Now, it might not have been earth-shattering performance statistically, but they got the win. If he can continue to play that style of ball, it's going to be a tough group to match up with.
On first down, here's McCarthy. That is knocked away. Incomplete. Good coverage there defensively. All over him. And it'll be second down. To throw, it's McCarthy. Into the familiar hands of Justin Jefferson. And he's out of bounds, but not until he gets inside the 25-yard line.
32 yards.
Set to go now on
Vikings
1st and 10.
First down. 1st and 10 at the 22-yard line.
This is Jones. And he'll get back to the line of scrimmage. That's about all. There you get a look at his numbers on the ground a week ago as a part of their victory.
At the 21-yard line.
From the 21, here's 2nd and 9. Play action now. It's McCarthy. That one knocked away. In the end zone, incomplete. What a good job locating the football by the defense where it matters most. And it'll bring up 3rd down now. McCarthy from the gun here on 3rd down. This one broken up. It's incomplete. Good job separating the receiver from the ball, and it is 4th down.
Will Reichard on for the field goal.
Reichard's kick is good.
This is going to be considered a successful drive. Obviously, you're going to have to see them come out and score touchdown. At least they needed to come away with 3. They were able to do that and take a lead on that field goal.
McLeod now to return. He'll get this past the 20 before he's brought down shy of the 25-yard line. The Falcons offense ready to get going with their 2nd possession. Greg, it's one of those weird feelings you build all year for the opener. When you play a tight game and lose, it kind of changes the feeling coming into this week a little.
Yeah, it certainly does, and if you're not careful, what's that cardinal rule? You don't want one loss to turn into 2, one bad play to turn into 2. The best teams in this league, Mike, they have an uncanny ability that regardless, good or bad, blowout or close one from the previous week before, it doesn't lead into the next week's work and ultimately the next week's game. So we'll find out, were they able to learn from the good? And there certainly was a lot of it. But can they move forward today and not let the disappointment of last week trickle into today? A bit of a quick hitter here. What you're hoping for, Mike, is that the defense can't react quickly enough because the ball's coming out so hot. But they knew it was coming, and they end up holding them to just a short game.
We'll get this to Pitts once more. Give him 14 on that one. 1st down, Atlanta.
A gain of 14. 1st down, Falcons.
And here's Bijan. That lane closes quickly. A pickup of 3. The veteran safety, Harrison Smith, there on the stop.
Gain of 3 brings up 2nd down.
So we are through 1 here on Sunday Night Primetime. 3-0 is our score. More from the Twin Cities in a moment. The Falcons have it to start quarter number 2. They've got it 2nd down and 6 to begin. Now Robinson. Running room hard to come by as he'll get ahead for a yard. Late Cashman up from the linebacker spot to make the tackle.
It's a gain of a yard. And it's 3rd down.
Here's a 3rd down and 4. Out of the shotgun, it's Penix. And this is going to be incomplete. That is great work there, making things difficult defensively. It'll set up a 4th down. Here's Bradley Pinion now, and he'll be looking for something better after that poor first punt. And no chance of a run back here. This one's going to sail out of bounds. The Vikings offense ready to see what they can do on their 2nd possession. Greg, the NFC North has become such a fun division over the last few years. Think of the geography and the legacy. It's always been, because of the proximity, a fun division with great rivalries. But with almost all the teams playing well, save the Bears over the last few years, it's almost heightened the awareness of how good the NFC North can be.
Yeah, I think going into the season, I make the argument it's the best division in football. And I think when the worst team, I know they were 5-12 with the Chicago Bears, but to me, there's a lot of wins built in there. Now they bring in Ben Johnson, they continue to build around Caleb Williams. That feels like there's a lot more wins built into that 5-12 record if they just get themselves organized and get some pieces around Caleb Williams, and that's what they've done. So, yes, Detroit and Minnesota, Green Bay, they've clearly been the top three for the last couple of years, but if Chicago in that roster, if that's your fourth best team in your division, man, I'll tell you what, those are going to be some really competitive division games this year.
And I don't know if it's the weather. I don't know if it's the length of the franchise. But when these... On fourth down, out comes Ryan Wright to punt for Minnesota. Ray McLeod, deep to return. A fair catch will be taken here with that flag down by the punter, and this might keep the drive alive.
Automatic first down.
They'll break the huddle. Coming up now for 1st and 10. Off the bootleg, it's McCarthy. This is incomplete. We do have a penalty flag down. Let's see what this call is. You only get a 1-yard buffer from the line of scrimmage for these old linemen. That time he strayed a little too far, and it draws the flag. From the shotgun, it's a throw for McCarthy. Moving to his left. Carrying that ball loosely, and it is out. And the Falcons have come up with the recovery.
That was a great play by the defense, Mike. He got a little sloppy with ball security as he leaves the pocket. They're able to knock it loose and put an end to this drive.
And remember now, all turnovers have to be verified by a replay. So we might be taking a look at this one. At issue was the knee or any other body part except the hand down before the ball comes loose. And are the visuals convincing enough to overturn the call on the field?
After review of the play, the ruling on the field is reversed.
So that one overturned. They say the runner was down, and that will not be a fumble. Now Jones. And they'll move this one down inside the 40-yard line. It's a gain of 12 there. It'll be a Vikings first down.
And these are the explosive runs that open everything up. There's all this conversation about the value of the run game, but when you take a look at the best running teams, Mike, it's not necessarily how many yards they run for, it's how many big plays do they generate on the ground. And when you can generate big plays on the ground, it makes everything so much more difficult for the defense. Great job by that linebacker timing his blitz. He didn't give any indication to the offense that he was coming. He's able to get through that hole and take the ball carrier down for a loss.
2 minutes remain in a 3-0 first half. We'll have more from Minneapolis. After this, it is 2nd and 9. Working out of the shotgun, it is McCarthy. And they will take him down at the 20-yard line. 17 yards on that connection. First down, Minnesota.
Vikings, first down. 1st and 10 at the 20-yard line.
On play action, here's McCarthy. got his man at the 6. Fighting for the goal line. They're going to stop him just short, but he has picked up the first down.
That's another.
This has been a really good drive so far, but what I really like, Mike, is they're down here in the red zone, and they continue to attack. Now, not quite a touchdown, but with 1st and goal, this defense certainly has their back against the ropes.
Let's go now. Viking 18. Go.
Jones trying to find a crease in that mass of humanity, but he's going to come up short. Another shot from the 1 on 2nd and goal.
Back to 60. Back to 60.
Again, it'll be Jones. Oh, balls out. And they will get another chance. They cover it up after very nearly squandering a great scoring opportunity. And remember now, all turnovers must be reviewed by
Previous play
replay.
is under
So this
review.
one is going to need a little closer look.
After review of the play, the ruling on the field is reversed.
So that one overturned. They say the runner was down, and that will not be a fumble.
18 Cardinal. 18 Cardinal. Take off.
They'll look to throw for it with McCarthy. And that is incomplete. He was looking for Jordan Addison that time.
Incomplete.
And it'll be 4th and goal coming up.
Down and
Teams practice these situations all week long, Mike. Down here in the tight red zone, you find yourself inside the 10-yard line. You're thinking, we've got to come away with a touchdown. Well, after that 3rd down incomplete, it's going to be real interesting to see how they approach.
And this is hot. The decision to go pays off. Jordan Addison, touchdown Minnesota. It's his 2nd touchdown of the year.
You hear coaches, you hear commentators, everybody talks about that middle 4, like the final 2 minutes of the 2nd quarter and the first 2 minutes of the 3rd quarter. Here they are now. They go down and they steal a late touchdown to end the half. Remember, they're going to get the ball first coming out of the break.
On now to the extra point. Here's Will Riker. He gets it to go. Vikings as this kick is away. McLeod now to return. He's across the 20, taken down just shy of the 25. They'll start this one with a 3 tight end look. And they're just going to run it here up the middle. And a good show of force there. He gets 4 tough yards out of that one.
it's now 2nd and 6.
Halftime coming up, and we'll take you down to Scott Hansen for the EA Sports Halftime Report.
Okay, Mike, thanks very much. It's our 2nd week in studio, 2nd week of the NFL season. Lots to get to, so let's get after it. Our trip around the NFL starts now. It begins in Kansas City. The Chiefs at home to take on the defending champs, the Philadelphia Eagles. And it's a guy who missed most of the run to the Super Bowl last year, Rashee Rice. He was a tough man to pin down all game long. This, one of his 2 touchdown catches. The Chiefs are off to a good start, 2-0 on the young season. From there, we go to Indianapolis. We'll check in on the Colts as they host the Denver Broncos. And it's a guy who showed some surprising wheels as a rookie, Bo Nix. He'll decide to scramble here, and that's the right call. He's in from 9 yards out. Lastly, let's go out to the desert, Glendale, Arizona. The Cardinals taking on the Carolina Panthers. And this is Michael Wilson. A brilliant catch and run for the touchdown. The Cardinals get win number 2 as they take care of business in this one. With that, we give you a look at the rest of the early games and games still in progress here in Week 2 of the NFL season. Meanwhile, in our game, just one touchdown in the first half, 10-0 your score, as we send you back out to the broadcast team, Mike Tirico and Greg Olson.
Scott, thank you, my friend. Back here on EA Sports as we count down to the kickoff of this second half. Pretty interesting first half. We'll see if any strategy changes for the next 30 minutes or more as this second half gets underway. Nice job by the return team as he takes it across the 30-yard line. Justin Jefferson and this Vikings offense heading out for their next possession. And you see the numbers for him into this third quarter. They just pop off the screen. He has been open and electric throughout. They'll run it with Jones to begin this drive. And he finds some space after a gain of 7 on first down.
Brought down by James Sears. It's a gain of 7.
Ball on the 39. Here's second down and 3. A little play action here with McCarthy. He's going to let one fly for Addison. They're going to have it here. Get it at their own 37-yard line.
So we saw in the first half, Mike, they were willing to take some risks. It allowed them to build this halftime lead. Now the opposing side, they're looking to fight back. They're looking to cut that lead down. That's what that coverage seemed. It looked like they baited that quarterback to force that errant throw and lead to that turnover. Now it's their offense coming back on the field with a chance to cut this deficit.
The Falcons offense trotting back out for their first involvement of this second half. So, Greg, let's pull back big picture and talk NFC South for a second, a division that you know so well. We've got teams that have been to the Super Bowl in the last 15 or so years out of this division, yet people overlook it at times. And maybe they've overlooked how good Tampa's been the last 4 years, too.
Well, it's funny, Mike, you think it wasn't very long ago that the NFC South was the toughest division in football. I mean, you mentioned Super Bowl teams. Tampa Bay won one recently with Brady, and then Atlanta, they make a Super Bowl with Matt Ryan, and New Orleans, and obviously the success they had with Drew Brees. In Carolina, we played in a Super Bowl. I mean, this was a division you didn't want to play. Now, they've all fallen on their resets, new coaches, new quarterbacks. Tampa Bay has done the best job weathering and taking advantage of their rebuild and their next era in the midst of a down division. So, big reason they've won 4 in a row. Can Atlanta, can Carolina, New Orleans, can they catch up? Because right now, like you said, Tampa Bay has been the dominant team in this division.
Greg, you lived it, you know it. While these may not be the biggest markets in the league, the Vikings have got it.
Mike, we hear that term run after catch so often, and sometimes people miss that there's kind of a middle phase. There's the catch, but before it turns into a run, you have to secure the ball as a ball carrier, right? It needs to be put away, properly held, points of pressure, front tip up against your body. All of that is kind of taken for granted. Catching it is just step one. You've got to secure the ball before you become a runner.
Out comes the Minnesota offensive unit as they get set to take over. You know, Greg, as we get the season going, obviously the adjustment to last year's new kickoff rules in place. We talked to a lot of coaches during the year. Folks didn't seem too bothered about letting the other team have the ball at the 30-yard line after a touchback. But the 35-yard line, I don't know, does that feel any different to you?
You know, it does, and I think the part that people don't talk about enough, Mike, is the impact that it's making on going forward on 4th down, not settling for field goals. Because remember, in the old days, if you got stopped inside the 5 or you scored inside the 5, it was all the difference of if I kicked a touchback, they got the ball at the 20. There wasn't that much of a spread, but now all of a sudden, is it in my best interest to settle for a field goal and kick off when I could give you the ball at the 35? Or even if I fail down there tight in the red zone on the 3, you now possess the ball inside your own 5-yard line. So I think that's an element now that's causing offenses to go for more touchdowns, kick less field goals, because the ensuing kickoff is giving my opponent the ball in much more favorable territory.
You know, the other rule that is adjusted are overtimes in the regular season will mirror playoff overtime, each team getting the ball. I'm so happy, Greg, because it just felt so incomplete when a team got to overtime, but then their offense, which may be the best part of the team, never got on the field.
Yeah, and I couldn't agree more. And you hear everyone saying, oh, well, just get a stop. Well, it's that legendary game between Mahomes and Josh Allen where neither team stopped anyone. It was just an offensive touchdown festival. So you won a coin toss and you get the ball. Well, the other team's defense hadn't gotten to stop the whole game. If Josh Allen got the ball first, he probably would have scored on a walk-off. So I love the idea of both teams getting the ball. If a game is good enough to go to overtime, let's finish it. We don't need to be in a rush. There's no curfew. Let's let the guys finish it on the field. A lot more similar to how the regular game goes and not have significantly different game flow come over.
Here comes the Atlanta offense now. They get set to take over once more. Well, Greg, it will be a very busy stretch for the passports. A lot of international games to look forward to. 7 in all outside the U.S. Chiefs and Chargers last week in Sao Paulo. Great ones to follow. Vikings and Steelers in Dublin. Vikings in London playing the Browns the very next week. Broncos and Jets. Rams and Jags, who also play in London week 6 and 7. The Falcons and the Colts are going to be in Germany in week 10. And then the Commanders and Dolphins wrap up the international slate. That's in Madrid, week 11. Greg, this has been such an additive part to the NFL season, all of these international games.
Yeah, I can tell you, Mike, having played one of the international games towards the end of my career in London when I played for Carolina.
Oh, he doesn't put it away, and the ball's out. And the Vikings have the takeaway. And so much for a nice game through the passing game. Not finishing the play, fumbling the football, and the offense has turned it over, Greg.
Mike, give credit to the defender here for not quitting on this play. They just give up a chunk play in the passing game. He stays after it, and instead of just making a simple tackle, he attacks the ball, knocks it loose, and creates a big takeaway for this defense.
Here comes Aaron Jones and the Viking offense as they take over once more. And before this drive starts, we'll take a look at the race as it stands to see who might take home the NFL's Offensive Player of the Year award. The drive begins with a carry by Jones. Inside the 35. And he will score. Aaron Jones. Touchdown, Vikings. It's his 4th touchdown of the year. Well, that's a way to start a drive. He takes it all the way to the house. I don't know what they were talking about on the last series, but they've come out on this series, Greg, with the right answer for the touchdown.
And Mike, the reason a lot of teams start off drives with the run plays to allow themselves to operate ahead of the chains. Well, not this guy. He found the alley. He took it, and he's off to the races for 6.
Return. Get across the 20, mark them at the 22-yard line. The Falcons offense make their way out, take over once more. Well, Greg, as the season starts, the season never ends. Think back to the schedule release, the draft has become this multi-day huge event. Green Bay crushed it with all the folks around the stadium in Lambeau, and some big names will be tied to that draft forever. A couple of the rookies that you've watched that are just sticking out in your mind, interested to see how they fit in the league as the season gets going.
You know, obviously so much attention around the quarterback position. Cam Ward goes number 1, and then obviously Shador and all the conversations around that as the draft unfolded. But I think a guy that's going to be fun to watch when you talk about fit, I think you look at Ashton Genty. He gets drafted by Vegas. He's now with the Raiders. Pete Carroll. It kind of has the feel of, is he his Marshawn Lynch? Is he the bell cow back, under center, Geno Smith, play action, set up that run game, play good defense? This feels like the early path Pete Carroll took when he took over in Seattle and turned them into a Super Bowl champion. So I'm not saying Genty's Marshawn Lynch, but he certainly feels like that's the fit the Raiders were going for when they took him with their first-round pick.
Hey, let me ask you about Travis Hunter. Of course, a Heisman winner, Colorado, great play both sides of the ball as a receiver and a corner. You know, Greg, it's hard to come in this league and play well on one side of the ball. Is it realistic to think you may see him on both offense and defense?
That's the million-dollar question, and I think to start, you have to say, okay, let's hang our hat on something. And I think when you look at the league, where is it harder to find impactful players? I believe it's harder to find impactful defensive backs. I think it's a harder position. I think the league favors the offense with the rules and the play style. So if I'm Jacksonville, I'm making Travis Hunter a defensive back on day one, and then I'm going to package my offensive plays around his skill set to take advantage of him as a wide receiver. And then as time goes on, it will eventually unfold where he'll be able to have a role on both sides of the ball more consistently. So if I was in Jacksonville, that's what I would do. But I think it's going to be very interesting to see how fast and how big of a role on both sides they give Hunter early in his rookie year.
On second down, here's McCarthy. That one thrown behind his target, and it'll be incomplete. Here comes 3rd and 6.
A.J. Terrell on the coverage.
60 back.
From the gun, here's McCarthy. That's caught left side by Hopkinson. Just his first catch. They have held him in check so far. But that one gives him a first down.
1st and 10 at the 44-yard line.
A give now. It's Jones on the zone read. And it'll be brought down as we tick towards the end of this third quarter.
And this is just more of the same, picking up exactly where he left off in the first half. And these numbers, Mike, as you see them, they just pop out at you. I mean, he has been the driving force of this offense from the very start.
From the 38 now, here's 2nd and 3.
Let's go now. 18 Cardinal, 18 Cardinal.
On the run, Jones begins this fourth quarter. And they bring him down inside the 25-yard line. 17 yards on that play. It'll be a Vikings first down.
1st and 10 at the 21-yard line.
Run it once more with Jones. He'll work his way ahead for a gain of about 4.
And he's been on an absolute tear throughout this entire game, Mike. And he's averaging over 10 yards per carry. And anytime you can run the ball with that explosiveness, it's just going to be hard to beat.
Here's 2nd and 6. Looking to throw. McCarthy. That is hauled in at the 5. And he's taken down, but they are in business. This sets up 1st and goal.
Big-time completion right there, and this isn't just a spot where they're trying to run the game out here in the fourth quarter. They were not only trying to pick up points, but they're trying to get in the end zone and extend this lead. So really nice job here late. We're going to see if they can put this one out of reach.
Broken up in the end zone. It's incomplete. Wow, coverage excellent there. It'll bring up 2nd and goal.
Cougar 19.
Here's McCarthy. To the end zone there, but it is incomplete. He was looking for T.J. Hawkinson on that one. And now 3rd and goal coming up.
You can feel them starting to press a little bit, especially with this passing game. They find themselves so close to the end zone, they got to get it over the goal line. You got to be a little bit more accurate. You got to be a little bit smarter with the ball. And right now, the timing, the spacing, it's just not matching up.
To the air on 3rd down is McCarthy. And he's in. Rondale Moore. Touchdown, Minnesota. And another score in another good performance after winning the opener on their way to 2-0.
Mike, you can't be 2-0 without being 1-0, and for them to be able to continue to string early wins together in the first part of the year, this is the start that every team dreams about. This is what you work for all off-season long, to start your season and build some early momentum. Gives you a lot of flexibility and wiggle room as the rest of this season plays on.
Riker, good with the extra point. And as he kicks this one away. McLeod now to return. Across the 20, they'll mark him down before the 25-yard line. That's where the offense will take over. The Falcons offense ready to take over once again. Things not looking good. But see if we can get the turnaround going here. They'll start this drive with first down. From the gun, it's Penix. The pressure gets there, and down he goes back inside the 20-yard line.
Certainly hasn't been their best game in terms of rushing the passer, but you find yourself with the lead here in the fourth quarter. No better time for that pass rush to come alive and see if they can close this game out.
Work to do now as they come up on 2nd and long. Back to throw. Here's Penix. Now a screen going to be set up for Robinson. Well, they'll get some of the sack yardage back, but it's still going to leave them with third down.
A gain of 10 yards. And it's third down.
Throwing is Penix. Taking the deep shot here with Robinson. And they'll get this one down to the 35-yard line.
Robinson.
Here's first and 10.
37 yards. And the Falcons
On the ground is Robinson. And he'll find some way to turn this into positive yardage, struggling forward for a pickup of about 2. From the 32-yard line now, here's second down and 7. He's going to keep it himself. And he wisely hit the deck at the end of that one. No unnecessary shot there. It is a first down.
Get your money up.
Here's Robinson. And that'll be good for about a half dozen. It'll set up second down.
Yeah, so I think as you look back over the course of this game, it's really been the inability of this offense, Mike, to create any sort of balanced attack to get anything going. I mean, whether you look at the rushing yards, whether you look at just the points scored, this offense has to find a way going forward to generate more big plays and more balance, both run and pass.
Looking to throw, it's Penix. A toss, left side, caught by his running back.
Sometimes it's easy for a defense to lose track of a running back, especially when he leaks out from the backfield, but not the case here. They kept eyes on him the whole time. Comes in, makes a sure tackle.
And this is going to be a touchdown. It's too little too late. Do get a bit closer as they score here in the final minute of play.
At this stage of the game, the score is really irrelevant. You want to try to build something positive towards the end of this game, and I think that score will help do just that.
Now Penix and the Falcons will line it up and go for 2.
The Falcons will line
To
up.
throw is Penix. And he'll get into the end zone, doing it on his own. Successful two-point conversion.
There was no hesitation from this offense. Immediately after they scored that touchdown, the entire sideline was holding up two fingers. They knew exactly what play they wanted. They felt great about it coming into the game, and clearly the right choice. Well, we knew, Mike, this was going to take a miracle. All they needed to do was recover this score, recover another one, score again. Unfortunately, that's not going to happen, and this game's all but over.
On the give, it's Jones. And he's going to have the first down. And that will not officially end it, but for all intents and purposes, they're going to be able to run the clock down from here.
First and 10 at the 30-yard line.
They'll go back to Jones on first down. And this time they are ready for it. Throws for a loss. And it's second down.
Brings up second and 12 at the 32-yard line.
They'll run. This is Jordan Mason. And he is stopped in his tracks. Loss of a couple on the play. Now the Falcons will use their third and final timeout. And they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in this one. Third and long.
18 Cardinal, 18 Cardinal.
Victory formation here as he's down to a knee. So they send in Will Reichert for this field goal try. This one from 52 yards away. He is 2 for 2. That kick is good. And the Vikings will add to their lead here in the fourth quarter.
Will Reichert to kick off for the Vikings.
Down into the final few seconds of this one as the kick is away. McLeod now to return. And he is going to be taken down, and that is going to do it. So a win here for the Vikings. They get the job done here at home, and they follow the opening weekend victory with another here to move to 2-0 on the season. So that'll do it for us. For Greg Olson and our terrific team behind the scenes, I'm Mike Tirico. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports. Follow us on X at EA Madden NFL. It's a win for the Vikings as we say so long from Minneapolis.